Hi, my name is Joshua Poblowski, and I'm a filmmaker based out of Scranton, Pennsylvania, and today I wanted to give you my review on the Nanuk 935 hard case. So I've been using this case now for about a year, and it has been phenomenal. It allows me to bring all the gear that I need, or at least about 70% of the gear that I need for all of my shoots. I primarily shoot weddings, but I also do some corporate work and some real estate, but primarily weddings. And having this case at weddings is awesome. It literally lets me have everything that I need in one spot. Instead of having to run back and forth between my car and the venue, I could just have everything and work right out of this case here. But when it also comes to corporate shoots and real estates, again, it just allows me to have everything in one uniformed place. And it just makes you look a little bit more professional too, having just one case, everything within that case that is needed, and just working out of there and just being able to get everything that you need from that shoot all packed into one case here. So let's dive into the case. So one option that Nanuk does is they allow you to replace your latches with latches that do have locks on them. They are TSA approved and TSA proof. So I actually did that just because I'm going to be traveling a lot more this year. And so I just want to make sure that as I'm traveling, and if I ever have to check this bag, that I could just lock it up and not have to worry about anything being rearranged or anything going to be missing while I'm traveling. But going into this now, let me show you how I have everything laid out and how this works for me. So as you can see here, I kind of have my stuff laid out on the left side here. I have my audio up here. I have my Ninja 5 right here. Then I just have my Zoom H6 with an XLR cable and then two mics that go along with it. So when I shoot weddings, what I typically like to do is, in this case here, I have this as my Tascams whatever they are, the DH10Ls. I have two of them, which one I put on the groom, one I put on the officiant, just so I can make sure I get that proper audio. I have a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Now this mic is what I put onto the camera just to use as some scratch audio, so then I could have some better quality audio, and it's also used as a backup just in case the Tascams fail. I have my Ninja 5 in between my two audio systems here, and as you can see, it fits very snug in there. And I make sure that I always have the cage on here just to properly protect it, but this could fit very snug within this case here, and I don't have to worry about the screen ever breaking. Now you can see here too, the H6, it's kind of loose fit in here, but like I said, since we have this top foam part that is probably about an inch and a half thick, this really helps make sure that if there are any loose components in there, that it stays within its own slot, and it's just to make sure it doesn't rattle around or break at all. And again too, I have my two Zoom mics right here, and they're just free floating in here, but again, they don't really move around, and I've never had an issue with the year of using this, having these mics ever get scuffed up or even moving around or getting damaged. So now moving to the next row here, you could see that I have my batteries, and I have my SD cards, my color checker, and this Aperture MC light that is phenomenal to use, which I'm using right here now as my hair light. But for weddings or even just corporate stuff, this is a really nice light to have with you, having it on the camera at all times, or either just having someone else hold it up for you just to get that little extra light that you need. But I have a V-mount battery in here. This V-mount I use to power my Aperture 120D with on some shoots, or even when I have my camera all built out in a rig, then I'll use this battery as the power source for the camera and for the Ninja 5. But I also have two spare batteries in here for the Ninja V. And these batteries just power, like I said, the Ninja V. They're just in here for spares, but usually I just power it from a dummy battery to D-tap to the V-mount battery. Now this case here is my SD card holder, and also it holds two Canon batteries. This is very nice because I could just slide this in my pocket, and when I'm running around shooting, if I fill up a card or need to refill a battery, this is always in my pocket while I'm shooting, just to make sure that nothing can go wrong. But next, sharing that same slot is this color checker. I always bring this color checker with me just because if I'm ever on a multicam shoot, then I could always make sure that in post-production I could get those two cameras to match and it looks like it was just one uniform camera. I already touched base on this, but this is just the case for this light right behind me. And I always bring this too with me because you never know when you need extra light. Next is the lens that I love to use. Is a 70-200 RF L 2.8 Canon lens. This lens is the newest lens to my arsenal, but I just love using it because it's just so nice. It depicts your subject very well. It gives you that nice blown out background, and having a 70-200, especially for weddings, really helps out because you could just shoot right down that aisle and just to make sure that the camera's never in the way, and you could still get that nice close-up that everyone wants at the ceremony. Following down below this now is my battery pack. It is pretty loose in there because I am expecting to get another lens soon that's going to be slid into here. But for now, it's just going to be a slot for my batteries. Now in these two open slots here is for my Canon RF 24-70 2.8 and for my Canon EOS R, which I am currently using those now. But having those right here, they fit perfectly in here. I can toss this case around if I wanted to. I always throw it in the trunk of my car, and there's never any issues. Like, you could literally take this thing and just toss it onto the road and all your gear in here is going to be perfect. But what is nice too is if you don't want this insert, this whole insert comes out and then you just have a big opening in there to put in whatever it is. If you want to put clothes in there with camera gear, or if you just want to get two, you don't need to get this padded divider. They also have a cube divider too in there, and you could also get a lid organizer, but I opted out of that. I felt like I just preferred this nice foam on the top just in case there are some of those loose components and they keep it sandwiched within their slots. But that is all for me. I really hope this showed you or gave you a little bit more insight on the Nanuk 935 case. This is how I use it, and I found out that this holds all the gear that I need for any shoots that I have, or at least the majority of it. Obviously you can't put big lights in here or whatnot, but this case has done me wonders. Like I said, I love working out of this case. It does make you look a little bit more professional having everything into one case, and it just makes things so much easier because you have to, instead of having to pack up the entire car and just keep going back and forth, this just allows you to make sure you have all of your stuff in one spot and you could just pack and go, no problem. Just one trip to the car and that's it. But if you got something out of this video, I hope you give it a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next.